All right, let's dive into a really powerful idea from the philosopher Osho. We're going to be looking at his work, Ancient Music and the Pines, to explore this fundamental conflict that honestly rages inside just about all of us. You know that feeling, right? It's that classic tug of war where your heart is pulling you one way, but your head is screaming to go the other. One part of you just wants to be free and poetic, and the other is just constantly calculating, planning, worrying. Man, it can be absolutely exhausting. Well, according to Osho, this internal battle isn't just you being moody or having a bad day. No, he says this is the fundamental, structural reality of the modern human mind. We are, in a very real sense, split right down the middle. Now, he frames this in a really cool way. He taps into modern brain science and uses the two hemispheres of our brain as this powerful metaphor for two completely different and often totally conflicting ways of life that are living inside each of us. So, let's explore these two minds, shall we? Because when we start to understand them, we don't just understand our own inner turmoil. We start to see the roots of the conflicts all around us, between art and science, between grace and efficiency. So on one side, you've got the left brain. This is the logical, mathematical, scientific part. It's the doer. It's obsessed with efficiency, always planning for the future based on what happened in the past. And let's be real, this is the part of us our society values most. But then you've got the right brain, intuitive, poetic, mythical. This is the being. It lives right here in the present moment. It values grace over speed. It doesn't calculate, it just feels. And these two, they're in this constant tug of war for who's driving the car. Osho has this brilliant way of illustrating the core idea. He says our true nature, our being, is like a single unified beam of white light. Simple, pure. But our dualistic mind, it acts like a prism, taking that pure light and splitting it into the 7 conflicting colors of the rainbow. And that rainbow is the world of separation and division we experience every single day. And this isn't just some abstract internal thing. Oh no, this inner war spills out into our actions. Osho tells this great story to illustrate it. You have a man from Berlin, the hub of German efficiency, and he gets lost in Vienna, the heart of Austrian grace. He grabs a local and just barks, "Post office, where?" The Vienna man is, a bit shocked. He politely suggests a more graceful way to ask, and the Berlin man, he just scoffs and says, "I'd rather be lost." That's it, right there. That's the left brain clashing with the right brain out in the real world. And here's the crucial point, the real kicker. Our modern world overwhelmingly favors the Berlin man, the left brain. From the day we're born, we're trained to be logical, efficient, productive. And yeah, we might become successful by the world's standards, but in that whole process, we risk becoming like machines, losing that beautiful, graceful, intuitive connection to who we really are. So that leaves us with the big question, right? Are we just doomed to this internal civil war forever? Is there a path that honors that other side of ourselves? The intuitive, spontaneous part that our society so often just pushes aside? Well, Osho suggests there is a way, and he explains it through this fantastic Zen story. We can call it The Path of the Thief, and it's basically a masterclass in the power of the right brain. So get this, a master thief takes his son on a heist to teach him the art, but instead of teaching him, he locks the boy in a closet, wakes the whole house up, and then sneaks away. The boy is trapped. His logical left brain just shorts out. It freezes. There's no rational way out of this mess. And then, in that moment of total crisis, this completely illogical idea just bubbles up from his right brain. Meow like a cat. A maid hears it, thinks it's a cat, and opens the door. The boy darts out. With the whole household chasing him, he throws a big stone down a well. They all think he's drowned, and he gets away clean. So when the boy gets home, he's furious. But his father simply says, "Don't bother with the details. You are here. You have learned the art." And that's the real lesson. The true art of life isn't some set of rules you can memorize. It's the ability to tap into that spontaneous, intuitive intelligence when your logical mind hits a brick wall. It's a sudden flash of insight, not a step-by-step plan. What this story is really pointing to is a radical shift in how we live our lives. It's a shift away from the left brain's obsession with doing stuff, achieving, calculating, planning, and a move toward the right brain's simple state of just being, right here in the moment. To really get this, we have to kind of redefine a couple of words. First up, knowledge. In this philosophy, knowledge is a left brain thing. It's just the collection of all your past experiences, all your conclusions. Osho compares it to a photograph. It's a frozen, dead image of a moment that doesn't exist anymore. Understanding, on the other hand, is a quality of the right brain. It's got nothing to do with what you know from the past. It's the ability to see what is, right now, with totally fresh eyes. It's like a mirror. It reflects reality perfectly in this present moment. But as soon as reality changes, the reflection is gone. It doesn't accumulate a single thing. And this leads to a whole new definition of maturity. It's not about how much knowledge you've collected or how old you are. No, true maturity is the ability to respond to life from that mirror-like place of fresh awareness, not from the old photograph of your past. It's a state of innocence, really.
So what happens when we start to live from this state of being, this mirror-like awareness? Well, according to Osho, something pretty remarkable begins to happen naturally, without you having to do anything at all. Compassion arises.
Think of it like this. The work you do to quiet your mind and find your center, that's meditation. Meditation is the flower. It's the process of just allowing your inner being to blossom, to come into its full bloom. Okay, so what happens when a flower blooms? It just naturally releases a fragrance, right? You don't have to tell it to, it doesn't practice being fragrant. The fragrance is simply a consequence of its blooming. Osho says compassion is exactly that fragrance. It's the natural, spontaneous overflow of love that just radiates from you when your inner being is in bloom. And this might be the most critical takeaway of all. You cannot practice compassion. You can't force it. You can't make it a duty or a discipline. Because if you try, it just becomes another act of the ego, another form of doing. True compassion isn't an action you perform. It's a state of being you arrive at. It is simply the beautiful, effortless byproduct of your own inner stillness. We'll end with this beautiful line from the Zen master Ikkyu. It just so perfectly captures the state of a mind that has finally found peace between its two warring halves. It's a mind that is so clear, so present, that it can perceive the subtlest realities of existence. And the question it leaves us with is, what ancient music might we hear if we could just quiet the war inside our own minds?